Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jess, and on this channel I like to talk about spirituality, law of attraction, etc, etc, etc. But anyways, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a part one of a two-part video thing where I show you my vision board, what came true from my 2020 vision board, and what I'm putting in my 2021 vision board. Alright guys, the 2020 vision board. We're going to go over what came true and what didn't and why it didn't. So yeah, there's only a few things that didn't come true. So as you guys can see in the very middle of it is the quote for last year, which was aim for the moon. If you miss, don't worry, for you may hit a star. So it was my way of basically saying, even if these things don't come true, I trust that something good will still happen. So even if this isn't exactly how it plays out, then I know it'll play out in a good way anyway, or it'll play out with something even better. So I was reminding myself of that in the middle of my vision board because I was going through a lot of changes last year. I mean, last year was Corona, and my senior year ended last year, and I knew I would be starting college in the fall, and I just knew things were going to be all over the place. So I decided to make sure that I reminded myself that even if things don't turn out 100% how I originally planned it, excuse me, ma'am, even if they didn't turn out exactly how I had planned it, it would still turn out great. So I wanted to get in the best shape that I've ever been in. So that was the intention, was to just get in better shape than I had ever been in, be more muscular, have more muscle definition. And I did do that. In the summer of 2020, I did get in the best shape I'd ever been in. And then second quarantine came around, and I gained a lot of that back. But I've still been active. It's just that I'm not looking exactly how I want to look. I gained like 5 or 10 pounds back, but I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. It is the winter. I usually gain about 5 to 10 pounds in the winter, and I know that it's not like I've gained a ton, that I'm unhealthy. I just I wish I would have stuck with the routine that I was in. But moving around, that happens. I was moving from my dad's house to my mom's house, and then to college, and then yeah, it was a lot. So I'm proud of myself and the fitness, like the shape that I am in. Let's just say I'm better off now than I was at the beginning of last year. I'm way more consistent with my workouts. Also, I have up there in that corner, I have a little microphone studio set up, and basically I wanted to have my own recording equipment, not only for YouTube videos, which I got a ring light for Christmas. If you can't tell, the lighting is so much better now, but I also got a microphone for my podcast that I started, which I didn't know about the podcast when I made this, so it actually worked out perfectly. So I did record a song on that, and I've been recording my podcast episodes on that. So that did come true. I did manifest recording equipment. Also in that corner, you will see a little jiu-jitsu medal. I really wanted to compete. It was mainly I wanted to compete. So it wasn't as much as I wanted to win a medal. I mean, of course, whenever you compete, you want to win something. But it was more so just saying that I wanted to be able to do a competition, a jiu-jitsu competition in 2020. So I didn't think that was going to happen because of Corona, but fortunately they found a way to distance us when we were tested, I believe. It was a few months ago, so I can't remember. But everyone had masks on, and they found a safer way to do it. So yeah, and I quarantined 2 weeks afterwards just to be safe, just to be sure. And yeah, so I won a bronze medal. It was great. To be fair, there were only three girls in my division, so I technically won last place. But I didn't specify what I wanted to win. It would have been nice to win gold, you know, but that's just not where I am yet, and it is what it is, you know? It'll happen when it's supposed to. I'm just happy that I got to compete and I got that experience. The real world, that's as close as you get to the real world without actually getting into a street fight or something when you practice jiu-jitsu. Okay, so moving on. Right under that, I put a bunch of healthy food. So I wanted to eat more whole food, plant-based over the course of the year, and I will say it's gotten better. It's gotten better. I am vegan. I've been vegan for almost 5 years now. But I was doing really, really well during my health kick whenever I got in really, really good shape over the summer. I was eating really good. I was eating mostly whole foods and I was doing great. And then college came around about October, around my birthday. I started eating a ton. Like, it started with cake and ice cream and of course the vegan versions of all that, but a ton, like, I want to do a video on like little known facts about veganism, like what they don't tell you about veganism. And one of those things is like, just because you're vegan doesn't mean you're healthy at all. It doesn't guarantee health. It doesn't guarantee weight loss. If you're still eating, like, there are tons of junk food that is vegan and is still not good for you. So I'm getting back on it, but yeah, that did come true. Like I said, for a little while in 2020 I was doing great, and then, you know, college came around and stuff happened. But in 2020 I did eat more. I was more health conscious, so I'm in a better place now than I was a year ago. All right next to that is a little laptop, a little Apple MacBook. So instead of a MacBook, I had the opportunity to get a MacBook, but I said instead of that I wanted the iPad Pro because I could use it mostly the same way if I got a keyboard. So I really liked what I could do with the iPad Pro more than the Mac. So I got the Mac, just not a Mac, if that makes sense. So right under that we have a Canon camera. Again, okay, I was in the position to get one and I decided not to. I was like, what would I use it for? Of course, creating videos. My phone is working fine for now. I don't need a camera. It's not like I'm doing photography all the time. So I decided instead of that, I invested in some courses, some Amazon FBA courses, so I can get that money right. And yeah, so I'm trying to get that right. So I had the opportunity to get it. I was gonna buy it, and I was like, you know what, instead I think I'm gonna invest this into courses because I don't really need a camera, and why purchase something if I don't need it or don't really want it that enough. You know, I didn't want it bad enough. So yeah, so I didn't get that, but I consciously I chose not to get it. All right under that is the Valedictorian. I think those are called stoles. I don't know. I have wanted to be valedictorian since I found out what it was in like elementary school. So my mom was salutatorian of her class, and so I told my mom, as the competitive Scorpio child that I was like, I'm gonna be valedictorian, and I have spoke it into existence since then, and it happened. And I'm really proud of myself on that one because I graduated from an art school down in Mississippi, and I know people think art school, it's just about art, but it was pretty rigorous. Like, the top 30 had all A's. So if you didn't have higher than a 4.0, you weren't gonna get in the top 5. So I took a ton of college classes and I worked my butt off, and I was valedictorian. Yay! Insert the baby yay sound here. Okay, and right next to that is a kennel, and on either side of it, you've got dog stuff. So a kennel, a cute little kennel setup, and a little dog giving a high five. So that's supposed to symbolize, I wanted Pixie to have her own space in my dorm. I wanted to make sure she felt at home whenever she moved into the dorm with me, and that was also supposed to signify making sure all of that went through, so that she could live in the dorm with me. So she is, and she's here with me. All of her ESA stuff went through perfectly. I didn't really have any hiccups. So yeah, that went through smoothly, and now she's in the dorm with me. And the little dog giving the high five, I wanted to train her, teach her a ton of little tricks, and I wanted to get her store trained so that way she is able to go into stores like Walmart or, you know, of course all dogs can go into Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff, but where she's trained so that way when we go in stores, she's well behaved and of course, you know, trained to be in there. So, got that trained, she's trained, and yeah. Right next to that is a little, I think it was my old channel, I can't remember, or if this is just the unupdated version of that channel, of this channel, but with 1,001.01k subscribers, and you know, that didn't come true, but I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel since I made this back on December 21st, or December 31st, 2019, and I just never had the guts or the balls to do it. I kept putting it off, and I kept telling myself, what can you bring, like why would you do, I don't know, there's just a ton of self-doubt kept me from ever really starting, and I just kept putting it off, and I think I made my first video in the summer of 2020, and then I didn't make another one until like a month or two ago, so I didn't really work towards this. There was a ton of self-doubt that I've had to work through to get to that, so I'm okay with not having 1,100 whatever subscribers. I'm okay with that. Those of you that I do have, I'm so grateful for, and I know that this number will grow in divine timing, and I will attract my audience, and as you guys come in, you will get to know me and know Pixie, and I'll get better at talking to a camera, and I'll get better at doing these videos and editing, and you know, it'll come when it's supposed to, and again, you know, divine timing, and yeah, it'll happen when it's supposed to. So I'm okay that it didn't come true. And likewise, Instagram, their algorithm changed. Of course, like I didn't do like stories every day, or you know, I wasn't really putting that much into it. There are definitely some like strategies for the new algorithm that I just didn't take the time to learn. So not little known fact, I think a lot of people who do vision boards know this, but if you've never done a vision board, just because you put it on here doesn't mean it's going to happen. You have to take action. You have to work towards it. It's the intention plus the action that makes it come true, that makes it manifest. So some of these things will just come into your life. You'll manifest them and they'll come in through other people, but like something like that you have to work towards. And if you don't ever post a YouTube video, or you don't post regularly, or follow some form of plan for your Instagram, it's not going to grow, you know. So I've been finding a lot of self-doubt about those two things, and you know, I'm just grateful that I'm finally getting over that, and I'm finally working towards a regular schedule on YouTube and on Instagram. Well, actually, I'm on a social media cleanse right now, but Instagram for sure. Once I do re-download it and start posting again, it will come again. The right audience will come when you guys are supposed to find me, you know? Under that is a little, or right next to those, right under those and next to those, is a little pajama set. So I had this feeling. I was watching some YouTubers that I really like and appreciate and enjoy their videos, and I was like, they all are wearing, like in their morning routine videos and skincare routine videos, I was seeing that they had matching pajama sets, and I was like, you know what? How amazing would it feel to wake up? Like, I feel like if I were to wake up and have on a matching pajama set, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups, then I would just feel like I have my life together. Even if I don't have my life together, it will feel like I have my life together because I have a matching pajama set, a matching pair of pajamas on. So I have two matching pairs of pajamas now, and they are so cute. They're both pink. They're not white. I want to get a white pair as well, but yeah, so I have two pairs now, and I alternate between those, and of course t-shirts, because I love sleeping in t-shirts too. But especially for special occasions, like I have something fun to do the next day, or I have a date the next day or something, I'll like wear those pajamas to get ready in, and it's super fun. So I'm really glad I put that on there, so that came true. Right next to that is a girl doing a handstand. One other thing that I did not work towards at all, I wanted to, every year I make it my resolution to, my main resolution to get more upper body strength. and it never happens because I never work on it long enough. So yeah, I did, however, this was supposed to also signify yoga, and I did get deeper into my yoga journey, and for the first 30 days of 2020, January 2020, I did 30 days straight of yoga every single day with, she's really well known, her name is Adrienne, Yoga with Adrienne is her channel. She is so amazing. She's great. So if you want to like get into yoga, I highly recommend her. She's the one who got me into yoga. And yeah, I do it at least 3 times a week now, I would say. And so I have progressed in yoga. It's just I can't do a handstand yet because I have not worked on my upper body strength. And I probably never will, to be honest. We will see. All right, and right next to that, you may think it's just a pretty background, but it's not. It's some rocks and just a tranquil scene of like the ocean. And so it's really funny because I've never been to the coast of the state that I live in, and I really wanted, I didn't know that I wanted to do that, but it's funny how that manifested even without me knowing it, there being an ocean. So I got to spend an amazing trip with 2 of my best friends, and we just on a whim were like, let's go watch the sunrise on the beach. And so we just drove 2 hours just to watch the sunrise on the beach. We got up at like 4 a.m. We actually stayed up all night, but it was so much fun, and we sang karaoke on the way down there, and then we ate at a little diner and then drove right back, and it was great, and we had so many nice talks. And one of my friends, I'm not going to share her story because that's her story to tell, but we had a really magical moment with one of her, some symbolism and spirituality type stuff, and it was a very meaningful trip for her as well, and I'm just so happy that I got to experience that with her and with both of them. I'm so happy I got to experience that. So that manifested without me even knowing it. And then but this was supposed to signify going deeper in my meditation. But yeah, these but also it was also supposed to signify meditation. So I wanted to go deeper in meditation and I did. I have been pretty consistent with meditating. I try to do it about 10 minutes every morning, and that has been happening. So I did manifest that as well. I set the intention and it's happened. And yeah. Oh yeah, I also did a 30 days of meditation in November, I believe, with Leora Alexandra. She's amazing. I love her so much. She's so great. And I highly recommend her videos if you don't already watch them. But she is amazing. And yeah, I did her 30-day meditate with me challenge thing, and it was great. I loved it. It really took me deeper into my meditative practice, and I've been doing it. I try to do it every day since then. Alright, right above that is a cute little outfit, and ow! One of my resolutions, or what I wanted to start dressing better in 2020. So like instead of just because it was my senior year, the second half of my senior year, and I wanted to really invest in some cute clothes at thrift stores and things, and just start dressing nicer. Because when you dress good, you feel good. At least that's how it works with me. And when I get up in the morning and I do my makeup, and even if I am wearing like a sweatshirt, I throw on some jewelry and a little bit of blush and lip gloss, and I feel so much better. And I just do my hair in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and I just feel so much better when I put myself together. And I really wanted to do more of that in 2020, and I did. Even despite quarantine, I did do a lot. I dressed, I tried to get up every morning, especially when I had school. It was so much easier to get up and dress better. So that happened. And right above that, we see 5 a.m. Okay, so that didn't happen, but there were a few months where it did happen, and there were a few months where it didn't happen. But despite all of that, so even though I was in quarantine, I tried to have as few days as possible as like sleeping into 12. So I did not want to do any sleeping in like where I missed half a day. As long as I got up in the morning before 10 a.m., I was happy. Because, quarantine, it was rough. It was hard to stay in a routine over quarantine. Despite being at home, especially over winter break, I was getting up at like 8 or 9 a.m. every day. So I'm happy with that. As long as I was getting up in the morning instead of wasting half a day, I was getting up and, getting my day started. Right next to that is a cat on a pile of money. So I got that from one of my scholarship websites where I was plugging in those essay scholarships, which I won none of, even though I spent like hours of my senior year trying to get those. Most of my scholarships came from the actual college and my ACT score and grades. So I basically, what that was supposed to signify as well is I wanted college to be paid for, not only for college to be paid for, but for them to pay me, for the colleges to write me a check at the end of the semester or in the middle of the semester, whenever they send out cuts. And that happened. I get paid to go to college and it's pretty nice. Of course that wouldn't happen if I would have went straight to a university. That's one of the reasons why I chose to go to a community college instead of a university, because why take the exact same classes that are accepted at a university and pay like 3 times as much? That makes no sense when I could go to community college and get paid. That makes no sense to me. But okay, for experience, I guess, but I can always drive to a party if I really wanted to go. But I mean, with quarantine, nobody should have been partying anyway, so why not just get a bag while I'm in college? So yeah, that came true. I got my colleges paid for at least these 2 years, and yeah. So right above that, you will see some nails, some healthy looking nails. So I wanted to crack the habit of biting my nails this year, but it's mainly I struggle with biting the skin around my nails. And I know my nails look really janky right now, but I do practice jujitsu, and that's grappling, so I do have to keep my nails really short. I try to keep them manicured though, just to prevent like flyaways and stuff, but I actually I do my own manicures. I do at home, buff and shine, and sometimes I'll throw a clear coat on. And I forgot to moisturize before I went in with the, it's like where you get the dead skin around, so that way I don't pick at the skin that's there, which is what I was, I'd gotten in a really good habit of not biting the skin around my nails and not biting my nails, mainly because I keep them so short. But what happened yesterday is I didn't even know, my hands were so dry that they started bleeding when I was doing that. So they look a little janky right now, but I put some antibiotic ointment on them, and hopefully they'll heal up. But I did stop biting my nails, and I stopped biting at the skin around my nails. So I am very proud of myself, because that one's been a hard one for me to crack. I've done it since I was a kid. Since I can remember, I would be in class and just rip skin off my nails, and like it was nothing. And then right next to that and above that, I see resident assistant and a dorm room that is set up for one person. So I did not really want to be a residential assistant. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I didn't really want that position. This college doesn't have that position anyway, but I wanted to put that in there because I made this when I wasn't sure what college I was going to. And I figured that was a great way to get a room by myself, is to be an RA. So I put that on there, knowing dang well I didn't want to be an RA. I just put it on there so that way I could have a room to myself. So I graduated from high school. It was the last 2 years of high school that the art school is. So like you go there for your 11th and 12th grade year, and then you graduate with a high school diploma with a concentration in your art. Kind of like a college, but not really. It is a high school. It is just like a regular public high school. It's actually considered a public high school. It's just residential. It's kind of like a mix between a public school and a boarding school. So, and then of course you add the art onto there. I went for vocal, so singing, and I had already lived with 2 different roommates, and that was a pretty okay experience. It was I loved both of them that I lived with. It was really rocky those years that I was there though, and I just really realized how much I value my own space and how hard it is to cleanse a space when there's 2 people in it. I have trouble cleansing myself anyway, so let alone trying to cleanse the space of 2 people. And I'm definitely an empath. I take on other people's energy very easily. I'm very sensitive to other people's energy, and I just really wanted a room with just me and Pixie all by ourselves, and that's what I have. I have a dorm room all to me and Pixie, and yeah, it's great. I do have to deal with a community bathroom, but it's really not that bad. I had to share a bathroom with like all kinds of step siblings at one point in my life, so it's really not any different than that. And whenever I go in there, there's literally never anyone in there ever. So like when I do go in there, I'm the only one in there. So yeah, it worked out perfectly. I you know, I really, like I said, I really value my own space, and I'm really grateful for the fact that I don't have a roommate. Yeah, that was something was really important to me. Up here in the corner, it's a bunch of zero waste products. I really wanted to be able to add to my zero waste. I wanted to be more eco-friendly. I'm vegan in part for environmental reasons. It's mainly for the animals, because yeah, trying to be an anti-consumerism, kind of. But when I do need something, I try to buy the best version of that if I can't thrift it. So I wrote the word growth right next to that, and basically I just wanted, I remember making this and just thinking, like, as long as I am in a better place next year, I'll be happy. As long as I have grown as a person and I'm a better version of myself at the end of 2020 or at the beginning of 2021 than I was at the beginning of 2020, then I will consider that year a success, regardless of what happens. And so I wrote growth, and I'm really glad that that I haven't given up on myself, and I feel so grateful to have been able to, even despite quarantine, I haven't lost anyone. I feel very fortunate to not have lost any family members. I feel very fortunate to have been able to do the things that I've been able to do this year. And I do recognize that not everyone was able to do those things this year, and I realize that not everyone had the privilege of having a great 2020. And I'm not gonna say it was all peaches and cream and all great, but it definitely wasn't as bad as it could have been. And I'm very grateful for all the wonderful, amazing things that happened in 2020, and all the bad things that happened in 2020 to me personally. The bad things, because I really believe that all of it happens everything happens for us. So even the really hard moments, I grew from them. And you know, you have to go through pain and pressure to grow. So the pain and pressure that I did go through, while it wasn't comparable to a lot of people, I think it's valid in its own sense. But it's also, I'm just grateful that it wasn't greater than it could have been, or it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And I'm grateful, you know, I'm just grateful for the year that it was and the growth that it brought. So yeah, I wrote growth, and that happened. So yeah, that was my 2020 vision board, and all of it that came true, and the different ways that came true. So if you guys liked this video and you want to see part 2, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a like. And yeah, I send you all the love and light in the world. Bye guys.